everyone, Abby here, Purple Cottage Crafts, and welcome back to another video here on my channel. This one is going to be about a small batch of kits that I'm going to be putting up on my website, and these are 5 sets of Sashiko kits. And I will link, before I continue on, I will link in the description box below to a couple different channels that kind of explain the Sashiko, especially the first one, and I cannot pronounce the gentleman's name, and I feel bad about that, but he is Japanese. That's his culture, and he does a phenomenal job of explaining what Sashiko is, the history behind it. He does live streams, I think once a week, one in Japanese and one in English. I really love his channel, so I will link that below so you can get a proper definition, because I don't want to do or explain this in an improper way where I'm disrespecting the culture, because that is definitely not what I want to do. Okay, so the kits are going to be packaged like this. Sorry for the glare. And there are 2 layers, and again there are a total of 5. I did leave one unpackaged so I could show you each of the components inside of each kit. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get myself set up, and we will dig right into what you're going to get. Okay, so the entire kit will be packaged in the clear packaging that you just saw, just to kind of protect it. And we'll start with the things that are on top here. So these items here are going to be in the smaller clear plastic bag, and then we have the larger one here. So we'll go ahead and go over this one first. So what you're going to find there, now we can see what I'm talking about. Okay, first up is this twig with 5 different types of thread and cotton thread on there. The gold and this old kind of vintage color thread, there are 5 yards of that on each stick for each kit. And then for these 3 here, there are a total of 2 yards of each, and they're cut into 1 yard lengths, because that's the length I use when I'm doing Sashiko or any type of stitching. So you're going to get all that to do your stitching, plus whatever colors you have in your stash. And then we have a brand new package of Golden Eye Sashiko needles. And there's that. And then we have a brand new package of the Egyptian cotton Sashiko thread, and this comes in tons of different colors, you guys. I just thought I would just provide white. That way, if you wanted to maybe dye some of this, you could still have that option, plus the fact that you would still have white as well. Okay, and now for the fabrics that are in here. And these are just I'm just going to kind of show them to you as I'm talking, so I'm not going to talk about each one. But these are just a selection of some different textiles and men's clothing, and some different, like this has like some different fibers in it. I kind of try to stay within the tones of what you traditionally see with Sashiko. You can use different colors and stuff if you want, but from what I understand from the gentleman I've been watching, he, typically, like with borrow stitching, it's typically like in the indigos and the whites and that kind of thing. But I've purchased kits where you can do different colors that I do for my own personal, just, pattern type stitching. So we have that, and then these are some samples of upholstery, but I thought they kind of went with the theme a little bit, the color vibe I was going for, I should say. And you can cut these down further if you want. You can use these in a completely different project if you want to. Do what you like. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to put these together. These are colors that I personally will use for different Sashiko kits that Sashiko projects I'm working on. Speaking of that, I do have a playlist, but I only have 1 video on there so far. I started it before we started living in the cabin that remodeled last summer. And so I'm going to be adding some more to that, because I had that tote kind of stashed away. So you will be seeing more of the Sashiko at the cottage videos from me, but I will link that 1 video below just in case you're curious to watch what I have put up so far. All right, then you have this piece of cardstock here that you can use for whatever you'd like. Okay, next up is this larger layer here. So we have, again, just kind of the same type of materials, whether it be, from recycled clothing. And that's Sophie here in the background. If you hear any noises, that's her playing with toys. So I apologize for that if you hear it. But as the nature of having a puppy, as I've mentioned before, I've got some denim in here, thrifted clothing, repurposed clothing, textiles, upholstery fabrics, just things like that. And so these are some larger pieces in case you wanted to, cut them down, or maybe you wanted to take one of these pieces here that's a little bit longer and make it into like a little journal, a little Sashiko or borrow stitching journal, whatever it is you'd like to do. I love the ticking. This here, little threads everywhere. This fun one. There's another ticking. And as you can see, there is a lot of fabric. This is just like a little bit stiffer of a flour sack. I love it. I love the heavier little bit texture. Then we have this here. And then this is a piece of some indigo dyed fabric. I bought a bunch of this, oh gosh, a few years ago, and probably like 6 or 7 yards, I think, when I bought it when I was thrifting. And a lot of it has this kind of bleaching mark in it, and I love it. I think it's so cool. So it's going to be kind of random in the kits. Now, I do want to mention, in my past kits, I try to cut fairly close close to the same size so I can kind of get the most out of what I have as far as like linens and whatnot. But for the Sashiko kits, I'm just kind of doing some rough cuts like this because I just think it's kind of fun to have these different sizes. You can make a journal cover like that if you want to. So, and this is a really thicker type of cotton material. So these are the contents in the Sashiko kits. And of course I will have this one all packaged up nicely like I did the other ones. So I'll go ahead and get this one kind of set up, and then we'll talk about how you can purchase these if you're interested. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys just a couple samples really quick before I get to the last part of the video where I walk you through how you can purchase a kit if you're interested. So these are just a couple samples just to kind of show you. So from my one and only video on my Sashiko at the Cottage playlist, this is just kind of a little sampler I did. I was just kind of messing around some different stitches, different, real basic stuff, and just doing some different shapes, different types of materials. And like this is from the pocket of a pair of jeans. And just to kind of show you guys that you can use different types of techniques and fibers and whatever it is you want to use to work on your projects. So that's a little sampler. And an application as far as clothing, like this is probably more on the borrow mending side than anything, but these are a couple pairs of my jeans, and I didn't do this. I bought these this way, but I'm going to be doing this with some other jeans that I have that have some larger holes. Anyway, so they just take bits of the fabric. So you could take your kit and do something like this on a jacket, a shirt, pair of shorts, denim shorts, whatever it is you want. You can do it in all kinds of articles of clothing. So that's just one example there, and you can just see underneath there that really fun blue print. And then on this side, another little bit here, I'll show you. And so on this knee, there is that same kind of coordinating fabric underneath there. So just some really cool, different, unique ways that you can customize your own clothing if you choose to do so. And then this one here, these are jeans that I purchased like this as well, but this has a lot of the overstitching. Now there isn't necessarily any fabric underneath this, but I wanted to show you guys that you could take even just the different fibers and strings that I showed you, and you can just do this on a pair of your jeans if you want to. So you can use the kit in whatever capacity that you want to use it in. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a Sashiko project. Like in the sample, you'll see different links I'm going to mention or I'll put in the description box below, as well as like this little sampler piece here. Okay, so each kit you're going to be getting 32 pieces of individual fabrics, ones that I just showed you guys. A brand new pack of needles where there are 2. The Egyptian cotton. I forget how many yards that is in here, but I'll put it across the screen when I go edit. I have to go look at my order history. And then on this little twig here, you've got 5 different colors. Again, the gold, and this one right here, you have 5 yards continuous. These 3 are, you get 2 1-yard strips of each one of those, so kind of get you started with that. So these will be available on my website. There's a total of 5. I have the other one over here that I have to repackage back up again, the one that I showed you guys. And I will have a direct link to the listing on my website in the description box below. So if you're interested in purchasing one or more, just go ahead and follow that direct link, and then it'll show you how to, or actually it'll bring you right to this, and then you can add it to your cart real quickly, easy checkout. I do have some of my shipping policy information on my website for all of my listings, that the price does include shipping, United States only for now. So that is included in the price, and I will have all that price and information and additional details and even more photos up on the website. So thanks you guys so much for watching. I hope this is kind of a different and interesting kit for you, and that you'll be kind of intrigued to want to play with some different colors and doing kind of the Sashiko method and using some of the different materials and things that you can purchase to use in these kits. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!